Today we're going to be talking about Uniswap and some common tips and tricks to give you a better experience. So we're going to talk about what Uniswap is. We're going to talk about some of the pros and some of the cons, some of the things you need to be careful for when you're using Uniswap. We're also going to talk about why Uniswap is going to be the future of technology. We are quickly headed towards decentralized exchanges. In fact, I imagine a few years from now, every exchange around the world will ultimately be a decentralized exchange. This is incredible technology. I congratulate you for watching this video because you are definitely ahead of the tech curve. If you like being first, if you like being early, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon, click all, and give this video a thumbs up. I do want you to know before we get into this, we have several videos in a playlist. The first video is how to download and set up MetaMask. If you don't have that, you need that in order to be able to use Uniswap, or you need some sort of Ethereum wallet like MetaMask. Also, we're going to be talking about in a future video on how to earn a passive income using Uniswap. That's going to be content for a later video, and I'm going to be putting out a whole video, a detailed video showing you several strategies on how to lower the amount of gas that you pay to transact with Ethereum. If you don't know what gas is, don't worry about it. We'll be covering it in this video. If you want to know how you can lower your Ethereum gas fees, I'll give you a tip. I'll link a video above up here. I'll put it down in the description as well. That's just one video. There's several ways you can lower gas fees, but we'll be talking about that on another video in this series. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of those videos. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Smash that like button. All right, let's get started. So Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. What does that mean? It means that your funds are never sent to another exchange. Like you don't have to send funds to Coinbase to exchange them one cryptocurrency for another. You don't have to send funds to crypto.com. You don't have to send funds to Bittrex or Binance or KuCoin or any of those other exchanges. Everything is done essentially within your wallet and smart contracts on Uniswap. And I'll show you that. We'll do a demonstration here in a moment. Now, Uniswap is a decentralized exchange at this point in time only for Ethereum and Ethereum-based tokens. But the Ethereum blockchain, Uniswap is phenomenal. Just so you know, there's about $1 billion a day done in volume. So Uniswap does a lot of volume. This is incredible technology, ladies and gentlemen. This is the wave of the future, I promise you. So with the exchange being decentralized, you don't have to worry about setting up an account. You don't have to worry about risk of your funds going to an exchange. And you don't ever have to worry about an exchange getting shut down, locking your fund, getting shut down by government, or locking your funds, or an exchange getting hacked and losing your funds. That has happened before. As long as your wallet is secure and no one has access to your private keys, your exchange, your funds are going to be safe. Now, with that being said, you don't have to worry about submitting your ID to someone, submitting private information, social security number, and that's really good as well because not only do you, when you set up an account with an exchange, not only do you have to worry about are your funds going to be safe, but you have to hope that that company is going to hold your identity safe. I mean, you set up 3, 4, 5, 6 different exchanges, then that's 3, 4, 5, 6 different companies that you hope in some other country around the world, you hope their ability to keep your identity safe, to keep your social security number safe. You hope all of that, they're capable of doing that. And I think it just increases your risk drastically of getting your identity stolen eventually. So you just want to be careful with that. And you can have peace of mind when you're using Uniswap. You don't have to worry about that. You don't submit your identity to anyone. Absolutely anybody, anywhere in the world with an Ethereum browser-based wallet like MetaMask can trade on Uniswap. If you don't know how to set up MetaMask, like I said, I have a video. I'll link it above. I'll put it in the description if you haven't already seen that, just to get you up to speed. One more thing I want to tell you about Uniswap. One of the positives is you can easily get into early projects. A lot of tokens, a lot of projects when they're new, if they want to get listed on an exchange, they have to pay exchange listing fees. They have to jump through all these hoops. With Uniswap, practically any project of almost any size can get their project onto Uniswap, and almost anyone can start trading their project. So you're able to get into small projects and you're able to get into projects early. Now, that's not investing advice. I don't recommend that you necessarily do that, but it is a positive for developers of new projects, and it's a positive for communities who wants to buy or hold those tokens for those projects. Now, a couple things you want to be aware of with Uniswap, and we'll cover this in detail. Transactions can fail. And if they fail, we'll talk about how to prevent it from happening. But there is a bit of an expense if a transaction fails. We'll go more details about it. You also got to be aware of fake tokens and fake coins. And typically these are tokens and coins that are impersonating legitimate projects. We're going to cover how to know if you have the right token or the right coin and make certain that you don't fall victim to fake coins. And by the way, if you like the idea of a YouTuber helping you prevent you from being a victim of a scam, do me a favor, smash that like button. Also, one thing that is a negative right now, Uniswap has very high transaction fees, or otherwise known as gas fees. I'll cover a little bit about what a gas fee is in a minute. And we will definitely be doing some videos on giving you some strategies to be able to pay lower gas fees. All right, so let's go through this. Let's talk about it, and let's do it. So here's how a basic transaction works. You just come to uniswap.org once you have the MetaMask downloaded or any other Ethereum browser-based wallet. Click on Use Uniswap. Any Ethereum-based tokens. This only works for Ethereum-based tokens. You'll come up here. You can use Ethereum. You can use any other token. As you can see, there's all these tokens here. Plus, you can add tokens. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But let's just say we're going to trade some Ethereum to USDC. All you have to do is come over here. Let's put in how much you want. It'll auto-populate. Now, let's take a look at a couple things. Let's click swap. So right here, it just it's confirming, hey, you want to swap 0.01 Ethereum for $15 worth of USDC. USDC is just a stable coin pegged to the dollar. Output is estimated. You will receive at least 15.1994 USDC, or the transaction will revert. Meaning if for some reason the price of Ethereum drops really low and it's less than this, the transaction will fail. If you want to know like how this number came up, basically it's based on your slippage. So the default is 0.5% slippage. This means that you give a half a percentage point either way from this price here. Any higher, any lower than that, then the transaction will fail. Now, the gear icon is set to 10 minutes. That's a good amount. You can go all the way up to 20 minutes, but 10 minutes is fine. If you're using popular tokens that have a lot of liquidity, a lot of people are trading them, this is perfectly fine. If you're using a very low liquidity token, you may have to increase the slippage. You may have to go to 3%. You may have to go as high as 5% if you're using a very low liquidity slippage. And to be honest with you, I'm on 5% a lot. I mean, you're not going to, Uniswap doesn't make you automatically pay 5% more or 5% less. I'm always concerned. I don't like my transactions failing. So I typically, personally, I have it set a little bit higher, and I'm okay with that. And you'll see that it will say the minimum received amount, meaning it could go as low as 14.54 without the transaction reverting. Now, if you're really worried about price and you're really price conscious, you're trying to squeeze out every penny, then you would want to set it probably to 0.5%. Click swap. It's confirming this is a liquidity provider fee. So liquidity providers, and I'll show you in another video how to become a liquidity provider, but they make fees on these transactions. By the way, it's very, very low. It's like 0.3%. Compared to the traditional finance, that's nothing. 0.3% is the fee that you paid for this transaction. So we'll click confirm. Now, this is our gas fee. As you can see, gas is very high. So we got about a $15 transaction plus $23.91 in gas for a total of $39.24%. I'm sorry, 0.20 cents. So that tells you that's where gas is at. Now, I'm going to show you what you can do. You can come over to the ethgasstation.info. There's another website called, I think it's Rapid Gas. I was trying to look it up. I couldn't find it. If you know, there's another website where it shows you this in real time, where you don't have to refresh the page. It just always shows you what's there. If you know the name of that alternative website, put it down in the comments if you would. I'll pin your comment. But it's like Rapid Gas or something, I forget. But anyway, what I recommend that you do is come down here and use this number here. Add about 10 to 20% to this, because this can change by the second sometimes. 159. It's not changing right now, but it can change by the second. I always recommend, so like it's 159, I'll probably go to 179. And here's how it would work. Just come over here. Go to edit and just go to advanced, and it's talking about like 179 GUI or GUI, however you want to say it. Click save. By the way, I would normally not make a transaction like this. I'm just doing it on camera for you guys because the gas is going to be crazy. Click save. That's nuts on gas. Of course, you would normally never, I mean, it's going to cost me more in gas than the transaction. But just to show you how to make a basic transaction. And that will go through. It will take it a few minutes. We can click close here. I want to show you something. You can always come here, and if you want to know if it's going through, you'll see pending. You can always see what's going on right here. Oh, transaction just went through. It confirmed. It tells you the transaction confirmed. So as you can see, we now have more. This is the balance in my account. I have a little less Ethereum, and I have more USDC. If a transaction ever fails, what will happen? By the way, here's always something very interesting. You typically spend less gas than you realize. You can click here and see how much gas was actually spent. And normally, not always, that time I did spend 179. Is that what I said I was spending? Yeah, it spent the full 179. Sometimes it doesn't, it will spend a little bit less than that, which is nice sometimes. But you can always check and see. Now, if a transaction fails, like right here, a transaction failed. What happens if a transaction fails? I was recording this video earlier and I got interrupted. But if a transaction fails, the ETH and the USDC go back to your account. But that gas I paid, that 179 GUI, the gas is gone. You don't get that back. The transaction would have reverted. The USDC would have stayed where it was at. The Ethereum would have went back to my wallet. And I would not have lost anything there, but I would have paid the transaction fee. Now, if you don't know what gas is, gas goes to the Ethereum miners. The more gas you pay, the faster a transaction goes through. And you do increase the odds a little bit that a transaction will fail. If you go to make a trade and you put in too low of a GUI, or you try to slow it way down, the transaction can go through, but you run a risk of the longer it takes for that transaction to go through. Like if you try to push it down, you want like 90 GUI, it may go through, but it might end up taking it 30 minutes, an hour or more if it goes through. And the risk that you run into is that the price of the token can change. In this case, the price of Ethereum could drop, and you would end up even by 5% in some cases. That could happen. So you just got to be mindful of that. The biggest thing to be aware of is typically if a transaction fails, increase slippage. You can increase slippage. I mean, sometimes for certain tokens, if they're low liquidity tokens, I'll have a 5% slippage fee here. I'm okay with that. I'm not here trying to swing trade, make a scalp trade. I'm not doing that. Now, if the transaction fails, crypto goes back to your wallet the way that it started, but you still pay the gas fee. Couple things you need to be aware of. You need to be aware of fake coins. That's the biggest thing to be aware of, is fake coins. So what you will find sometimes, let me show you something. You can go to CoinGecko. A couple ways to be able to, there's 3 ways to check to make certain that you have the right coin. First of all, you can come to CoinGecko, and let's just say that we're looking at anything. Let's just say we're looking at USDC, which of course is a stable coin, or we can come to Uniswap, which is actually the uni coin. There's a lot of or we can go to wrap BTC as well. Let's look at wrap BTC. This is basically Ethereum wrap Bitcoin. So what you can do is come here and go to, first of all, make sure you have the right one, make sure the price looks right. You can come down, check the charts, make sure that it looks right, everything looks good. And you're like, okay, this is the right coin. Everything looks good here. Once you know that, it's taking a while to load. Once you know that, and the biggest thing is if you know what the price is, the price will tell you if you have the right coin or not. You can come to Etherscan, and you can chart there. You can come to Etherscan over here. And once you pull it up on Etherscan, you'll be able to see the contract here. And what you can do is you can come to Uniswap. You can copy the contract if you're not sure. Come to Uniswap. Come over here. Go to add. Click paste. And it's like, there it is. WBTC. Sometimes if you go to Uniswap, you'll find there's multiple tokens with the same name. Let me show you what I mean. Come over here. There's a token called the duck token. Take a look at this. You'll notice there's multiple duck tokens. There's 2 or 3 of them. There was 3 before. There may be 3 now. Okay. Here we go. So there's duck token. This is a duck token, and I don't see another one. There was 3 duck tokens before. So there's this token and this token. And the question is, which is the real duck token? Well, I happen to know that this is about the same price, and I happen to know this is the right token. But it's important to be aware of. So I know that this is the right duck token. I know how the address starts. So if you know you have the right token, you can click here. You can come over here, and then you can go back to Uniswap, and you can copy and paste. And sometimes if you don't see your token here and it's a small token, you might have to go to Uniswap and grab that contract address to add it in here. And there's a duck token. And there it is. So there's two things you can do. Go to CoinGecko, make certain it looks right. Go to Etherscan, grab the contract from there. You can also go to Etherscan directly, and you can just search like we did right up here for the token. However, even that sometimes may not make you feel comfortable enough about trading the token if it's a new project. Most of these projects, or a lot of these projects, will have a Telegram. I recommend that you go into the Telegram and ask them where the contract is. Now, sometimes they may have the contract on their website. You can just grab it, come here, search it, make sure you have the right project. But you can also go to their Telegram sometimes if you don't see the token address on their website. You're not certain after searching on CoinGecko. What you can do is you can go onto the Telegram. You can say, hey, what's the correct token address on Etherscan so I can add this to Uniswap. They'll know exactly what you're talking about. You'll be able to grab the token address. They'll be able to tell you where it's at, or someone will give it to you. And you'll be able to add it right in here, pull it up, copy it, come over to Uniswap, enter it in, and you'll have the token that you need. So that's Uniswap. What we talked about is how to make a basic trade, how to be mindful of slippage, how to be careful for slippage, how to watch out for fake tokens, and how to confirm the right tokens. Ladies and gentlemen, you can start using Uniswap right now. You can start trading on Uniswap right now. If this has been helpful to you, be sure to hit that like button. Also, stay tuned. Put a video on the end screen to show you how to lower your gas fees. In the next video, I'm going to talk about becoming a liquidity provider. I'm also in another video coming up in the series, going to show you several strategies to lower your gas fees. In fact, lower them by up to 90%. We're going to talk about 4 different ways to be able to lower your gas fees. So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching. Decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.